Hey guys, it's Crossroads here. Today, let's talk about Tesla. The stock is down about 16.5%. Could be more by the time you're viewing this, or it could bounce up a lot. It's been very volatile in the past, but this is a big move, and it's worth paying attention to for us shareholders. And yes, I'm still a shareholder. I did take some profits, lock those in on Monday, which I'm very glad that I did. It wasn't for this reason, it was for a different reason, but that worked out. So, what exactly is going on? In essence, what has happened is Elon Musk and Donald Trump have had a massive falling out. Of course, we saw a couple of weeks ago that Elon said that he's going to be less political, that he's pulling back from Doge, focusing on being wartime CEO for SpaceX, for X, for Tesla, as well as his other companies, and just really focus on innovating and driving shareholder value, but even more so helping expand GDP as a solution for this spiraling debt. He had some great concerns with the bill, and I do too. I actually agree with Elon completely on this. And then he made a very public post about not being able to keep quiet anymore about this big, beautiful bill that's so called. It's irresponsible, it's reckless. And today, Donald Trump fired back. So we'll take a look at a couple of these. We won't post. So here we see that here Donald Trump 2 hours ago, almost 3 hours ago now, says Elon was wearing thin, that he asked him to leave, took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that no one else wanted. Typical hyperbole. And he just went crazy. Well, actually, Elon, the whole time, has been in favor of that being removed as long as subsidies are removed across the board. His position was that the government should not have be favoring like one energy form or another, make it equal. And also talked about that this being long-term, probably a good thing for Tesla. I actually disagree with that. I've had a post and a video on that separately. But nevertheless, this is where we're at, and it didn't stop there. And so Trump said easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. Okay. I mean, billions. No, again, like Trump doesn't talk actual figures. And then he says, I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and so forth. He also insinuated that Elon knew the bill better than anybody, and that actually was not the case. We can see Sawyer here captured both sides of it. There's a video that I'm not going to play here, where basically, yeah, he says exactly that. You can watch it yourself on Sawyer's site here, that Elon knew all of this. And he knew it was in it, and he was in favor of it, and for some reason turned against Donald Trump randomly. And Elon says, false, this bill was never shown to me even once and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could read it. And again, Elon is right. That's the way that most of these big spending bills are. There's a lot of pork in this. It was passed very quickly through Congress, and it's very unlikely that Elon read it, had anything to do with it at all. It just doesn't make any sense. So that made Donald Trump very angry, and also Elon Musk very angry. And now they've been firing these shots at each other. This is basically like them firing ICBM missiles and doing scorched earth. And so a couple of things happen. I'm not going to go through Elon Musk's post because there's things on there that I would not want to show on my YouTube channel. But he said Trump would not have won the election without him. That's maybe true. It would have been very close if not. Then Elon Musk said, hey, is it time for a third party to run in America? I'll leave that for you guys to decide. It'd be great to have other options, but I don't know if that'd be a good thing for America or not. It actually gave us a split like that. One of our worst presidents, I think the worst president that we ever had, Woodrow Wilson, as a result. Trump is on the Epstein files, according to Elon Musk. That's very personal. That's very below the belt. He said that SpaceX would begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft if Trump is going to tear up these deals, and starting that immediately. And also said that Trump should be impeached and Vance should replace him. And also that Trump tariffs would cause the recession in the second half of the U.S. this year. So things went from, okay, Elon's moving on from Doge, but good job, Elon. You were great, to some criticism from Elon on the bill, to very, very personal. And both of these men, frankly, have pretty frail egos that when they feel attacked personally, they fire back. They're both very powerful men, two of the most powerful people in the planet. And it's just not a great thing to be seeing this. I'm sure that there's people that hate Donald Trump and hate Elon Musk that are loving this. But for a shareholder perspective, from in Tesla specifically, I wanted us to talk about this and see the ramifications and also some potential opportunities. So initially, when the first little salvo and Sawyer captured it there was announced, I was like, well, Elon having some distance between him and Trump might actually be a good thing long term for Tesla. It'd be great if Tesla was like apolitical. It's a car company. It's more than a car company, but you get my drift. It shouldn't be so politicized. And so I was like, well, maybe if there's some distance between Trump and Elon Musk, but not to this level, that could be an in net good thing. Democrats might say, okay, Elon's actually not too bad. He's a little crazy out there, but it's a great car. Sign me up. Yeah, it's gone a lot further than that. So I think that would have taken time anyway. But this right here, there's a lot of Trump supporters that are Republicans that warmed up to Elon, warmed up to Tesla, and now may hate Elon from this as much as Democrats also hate him. So when you have angered both sides of the political spectrum, I mean, bravo, well done. But that is not a great thing for shareholders at all. This may, in fact, hurt sales. They're already not great, especially in Europe. They're ramping up well, I think, with the Model Y. But yeah, I don't see this as very good for business. Not at this level that we're at, like DEFCON 3 or whatever we're at right now. So that is a concern for me as a shareholder. Another concern is regulation. Now, Elon Musk, of course, the next vertical for Tesla is automation. It's full self-driving, and after that, robotics. Of course, they're beginning to scale things out just in Austin. And the question is Trump going to pull political favors to try to get people to put up blockades and stop and slow down as far as red tape and regulation, this automation? That can happen. I don't think so in Texas as much, although Governor Abbott is a Republican. I don't think that he'd personally take a side of this. He'd probably just try to stay out of it, honestly. And that would be the right thing to do usually when there's two heavyweights like this dueling with each other. But that may not be the case everywhere. And this might absolutely end up not only hurting as far as the subsidy side of it, which will be wrapped up at some point before the end of the year, but also could specifically hurt Tesla if they try to put up a lot of red tape that slows down automation for Tesla specifically, although that's a little bit harder, or just in general, which is probably more likely. So also maybe not great for Google, even though Waymo had nothing to do with it. Maybe not great for Nebius, which of course was trying to launch AV right here domestically in the United States, I believe beginning in Austin. So yeah, that's another thing that we have to think about is regulation. Now, beyond that as well, if we're thinking about regulation, there could be a lot of other things that make it more challenging for EVs. There was something snuck into the bill that actually would make Tesla and EVs more expensive to buy, that there's basically a fee or a surcharge instead of a tax credit, which that can always be ramped up, that can be increased. And we saw in the past under the Biden administration, even though Elon and Biden should have been natural allies, that they had tailored the EV tax credit to specifically favor the competition of Tesla and not Tesla themselves. Now, of course, Tesla dropped their price, they changed some things, and they were able to acquire that credit easily enough. But we could see some manipulation on that side as well. So is any of that good news for Tesla? It is not. It is not good news at all. I'm actually very thankful that I sold a good chunk of my position. And Tesla is now actually pretty close to 1% of my entire portfolio. It's not meaningful at this point, just because I've been persistent in taking profits at elevated levels, always in the 300s and above. And now I'm at the point where I have to really think about whether I want to hold this company at this price long term. Now, at a cheaper price, I think that there is an argument to be had. But when it's in the middle 300s, of course, it's a lot lower right now, there is more risk just because it's elevated and it's pricing in a lot of in the future, which is up in the air and uncertain. Also, another factor is the higher for longer interest rates. And chaos like this just gives Jerome Powell another reason to just delay the cuts and not cut as well. So this is a tough place for us shareholders. Myself, the position that I have, I'm just going to hold it. And I may add, I have to try to figure out what level that is. But let's take a look at the stock chart right now and also look at a potential opportunity. Now, if you're looking at this and you say, this is a nothing burger, it's fallen all this way for absolutely nothing. And my goodness, it's fallen another $3 just since I've begun this video in the last 10 minutes. Tesla stock trades on a narrative. If you haven't been Tesla long, you need to know that. It's not based on fundamentals. It's really never been based on fundamentals. The narrative is bad right now. It's really bad. This has a lot further that it can fall. It's not guaranteed. It can do anything. But with that in mind, if you're looking for an entry and you're an options person, rather than just buy shares right here, which you could absolutely do, and you could DCA, and that's a fine way to do it. You could buy leaps or buy puts, whatever you want. That's fine. But when you see this kind of volatility, really what happens is the options premium, the IV itself, gets absolutely juiced. So what we're looking at here is an options chain. This is on Robinhood Legend of Tesla itself. And we're looking specifically here, not at this Friday, which is tomorrow, but a week out. So 8 days technically, which is not a lot of time. Now, current price is 275. When, by the way, we hit the after hours, it was at 280. And so keep in mind that these prices are actually locking in at the moment that the market closes. So if we open up at 275 and change, basically the premiums that you see for $5 higher, it'll actually be a little bit more just because of IV, but that's about what to expect when you open up. Now, of course, anything can happen in the after hours. We can see 290, 300. We can see it down to 250. Low liquidity environments will do that. But as far as options, and only do this if you're familiar with options and you're willing to accept the shares. But you can see here, if you wanted to do something like sell $215 puts, or even at this point 210, which again will probably be in this price range, this is the bid-ask spread. You can click on something like this and just say, okay, I'm actually going to sell into open 1 unit, which means you're agreeing to buy 100 shares if the price is at or below 200 and, well, in this case, 215 bucks. If that happens, you buy it. Like, doesn't matter if Tesla's trading at 50 bucks, doesn't matter if Tesla's trading at 100 bucks. But that is a pretty far distance, $250 from 275 where it is right now. And what do you get in return? Well, you get this premium. Of course, you'll put in your own limit price, but right now the bid is 202. Keep in mind, it's probably going to be closer to 228 tomorrow. And you'll get that money no matter what. They give you that collateral. It does lock up your collateral, rather, for that week until you exit the position or until it's finalized. You get the credit itself, and you can see I have no buying power in this account right here. And there's a very small fee right there as well. So I don't have the money in this account. There is another account I can use, although it would actually take most of my free cash right now, and I don't know that I want to do this. But nevertheless, if you say, you know what, maybe a 1% yield on something that is kind of lower risk, there still is some risk. Tesla could fall a long way. That might be an opportunity for you if you're comfortable assuming shares at 215, 210, 220. That's what I would personally do if I was looking to grow my position. For myself, probably I'll just stay on the sidelines in this. And if we see Tesla pull back into the mid to low 100s, I'll likely go in much, much heavier just because I see the technology is there. There's a lot of opportunity there, but there's a whole lot more risk when it's trading in the 300s and 400s versus potentially if it falls into the hundreds. Most likely, we're not going to fall that far, but this kind of ego battle can last a long, long time, and it can be an opportunity for option sellers. Anyway, let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Does this change the thesis of Tesla for you? Are you looking to get in at a certain price? Are you looking to get out and saying, you know what, this is not worth the headache? I do not blame you either way, and I understand both positions, but I'm very curious. Thank you, as always, for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And until next time, happy investing.